Hello, thank you, Rocky. And go ahead and get started and try to move through some of these slides quickly since we're a little bit behind schedule. Give everyone time to get the presentations done. So, okay. So today I want to talk about integration of mainframe into UD and specifically talk about a large financial services company that has a very large environment, as you can see on the slide, over 65,000 employees, a lot of independent contractor agents, servicing a whole lot of policies and accounts and a lot of operations centers across North America, including over 15 IBM mainframe systems. And a lot of issues that the company had related to IT operations had to do with these disparate environments, and especially with the mainframe being able to integrate everything so that they had a single picture, a single view of what was happening in the IT environment. Also, skill levels becoming a problem with the increasingly diverse environment, the amount of time to be able to analyze problems across all the different environments. So their goal was to really consolidate everything that they could into a common platform, and that common platform was based on micro-focus platforms. It was using Operations Manager, transitioning to OpsBridge OMI, and also UCMDB with Universal Discovery. Prior to doing this consolidation, the mainframe environment. I'm sorry, the slides are jumping on their own for some reason. The mainframe environment was really operated as a separate silo within the organization. So the other enterprise IT environment, the operations people, really didn't have any visibility into what was happening with the mainframe. So they had multiple data sources, really no what we call single truth of operations and configuration data. So some of the capabilities that they needed, especially in the configuration management area, was to be able to see this type of data from DB2, disk storage, CICS, which is their transaction processing, IMS, another transaction processing software, MQ series for messaging information about the mainframe infrastructure, about CPUs, network connectivity, a lot of the same kind of things that they want to see in the other environments. So with the integration of mainframe discovery into the micro-focus platform, they were able to get this, including all of the different IT environments and the IBM mainframes using this. And this is a picture, and we'll do a quick demo and look at this in the demo. But the architecture will give you an idea of how they do this integration and how it works with Universal Discovery. But essentially, in the mainframe environment, they installed an agent that eView technology provides for the mainframe. They also install on their probes, their Universal Discovery probes, what is called an eView client. The eView client communicates with that mainframe, and then as you'll see when we go over to the UCMDB interface, you'll see that mainframe discovery adapters exist within the content that's provided by Microfocus, which takes advantage of this eView client installed on the probe and the mainframe agent that's installed on the mainframe. So they got a lot of benefits, with the real-time visibility. But the key thing was with the results they got. They got a very quick return on the investment. they got the operational efficiencies they were looking for by combining everything into a single platform. They were able to eliminate some outdated tools and also eliminate some software licenses that they had, which were specific to the mainframe environment, and then be able to integrate all this into a common technology and provide what we call that single source of truth for both operations and universal discovery. So if I can, hopefully this screen sharing will work. So hopefully everyone can see the screen. It looks like it has come up. Just want to point out a couple things here and then just show you a couple examples of integration between IBM mainframe systems with universal configuration data. So currently I'm in the discovery control panel looking at the different discoveries that are available. And this is something that's part of the discovery content packs that are provided by Micro Focus. So the actual discovery content packs are provided as part of the content packs that you get from Micro Focus. So when you install UCMDB Universal Discovery Probe and load the content pack, then you would see a folder for mainframe discovery. That mainframe discovery then has another folder called eView Agent, because all of these discoveries require that the mainframe have an eView Agent installed and able to do the discovery. And then the discovery jobs are divided up by different components. Currently I've highlighted the LPAR resource discovery, which discovers a lot of the typical host resources, and I'll go through a couple of examples. And then other component areas that are discovered on the mainframe, which is CICS, DB2, database discovery, IMS, IBM's IMS software discovery, and then MQ series messaging discovery. So I'm not going to go through all of these, especially given the fact that we're running a little behind, but I'll just go through a couple examples from LPAR discovery and CICS discovery, just to give you an idea of the integration and how it fits very seamlessly into UCMDB. So if we take a look at one of the mainframe systems here and look at the results of what's discovered from that mainframe system, we'll just go down and look at a couple things. So I'm going to start actually with the physical mainframe. So mainframe systems typically consist of a physical machine, and then they're partitioned very much like a host running a VMware, where you might have multiple operating system instances. A mainframe works very similarly, except the partitioning is done in the hardware. So if we take a look at start with the physical machine, we can see a lot of different attributes that are discovered about the physical machine. And then we can go and look at what's discovered with that and relationships. So part of the discovery is, not only discover the items, but it's going to build relationships between the different types of configuration items that are discovered. So when we look at this particular physical machine, we can see that there are two logical partitions, or two operating system instances that are running on that physical machine. And then we can see a lot of other relationships here, but if we just pick an example here, for example, interfaces, we can see in this particular logical partition, or this operating system instance, we have 3 instances that are defined. We can also see the different IP addresses that are defined or discovered on those different interfaces. We take a look at the other one. Another example here would be, for example, with storage. So if we wanted to look and see what storage groups, which are very similar to file systems and other environments, I'm going to try to make this a little bigger so you can see. Here we can see, for example, on this particular system, a number of different storage groups that are defined. And then if we select one of these, we can then actually see which disk volumes are assigned to that particular storage group. Another example of which this customer had is CICS, where they use a lot of CICS, which are their transaction-driven applications to be able to look at the transaction information. This information can be used for, for seeing the configuration, taking the complexity out of the configuration, and then putting it, making it very visible and logical for people that are using this information for mapping, for example, applications to business services, or for using it for change control purposes, where they can track between what's changed in UCMDB and what was planned in the change control system. So if we look at a particular CICS system here, we can see what's called a CICS region, and then see what other types of configuration items are discovered that are related to that. So here, for example, this is just a typical CICS type of configuration where CICS is configured using list, and then within those lists there can be groups, and these lists or groups may represent different services. They may represent application. It just depends on how the application developers have designed their application and configured their CICS systems. But all the information is there that can be used available, and then as we drill down into the groups, we can see the different transactions, and even for each transaction, see which program gets executed. So a lot of very useful information that can be integrated and then included in modeling of business services between what's happening, because most mainframe applications typically have front ends that will run on another type of operating system platform, such as Windows or Unix, and then having all this information consolidated into UCMDB, gives them a big benefit in terms of being able to not only see what's changed in the environment and what's in the environment, but also to see service impacts when there are problems detected by the operations manager. So that's really all I'll go through on the demo right now. Hopefully that gives you an idea of the kind of data, the kind of integration that can be done with mainframe, and how this one particular company was able to do that across a very large enterprise. You can imagine with that big of an environment, trying to do that manually, which is the way it was done previous to integrating with UCMDB. Was a very large endeavor, and prone to not having the right or current data, and having this basically integrated and automated through UCMDB really gives them a much better and much more timely view of what's going on in the environment. So with that, I will turn it over to Brian.
And